have the Valbon heirloom, but I don't even have like a built Valbon. Anyways, some characters I've been working on recently. I got a Zephyr built out that honestly right now I'm trying to figure out how to make her into just a fast farming frame, but she doesn't really have enough durability for a lot of missions. But if I'm ever farming, like I'm planning on going back to do some farming on some earlier levels pretty soon to try and get growing power. It's a mod that is kind of a rare one on some of the earlier missions, and I'm planning on doing some really, really monotonous farming for that, but hopefully if I can do it with Zephyr, it'll go a little bit quicker, depending on if I can get it working properly. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to default to using Titania, because she is a very fast frame for doing early content with. What are some things? So, I got Araxia recently. Very cool frame. I've got the Void Void Shell skin for Rhino recently. I built out a Protea Prime, although I still haven't fully built her yet. As you can see, I don't have any Forma on her at all. To anyone who doesn't know anything about Warframe, Forma, I'll go up and show you on one of these Warframes. Oh man, I don't have any Forma on Valkyr. That's crazy that this Warframe can be as good as it is with no Forma. This character is super dank. Anyways, I'll show you on my Korra. So this is my Korra before Korra Prime came out. Also, absolutely love this skin. Such a cool skin. Anyways, when you upgrade your characters, you get 8 different slots for mods, 2 different secondary, like, specific slots. So this is aura mods, and this is, oh gosh, what are these ones? No, they're just like a secondary utility mod. And then you get, arcane. Are these arcanes? Yeah, arcanes. So arcanes are like little boosts that you get. They're more of a, like, people have different ideas of what early, mid, and late game Warframe are. Some people say that, like, doing Star Chart is early game. Some people say that, like, getting all the way up into doing, like, early Steel Path is early game. But, like, I've got 1,000 hours in this game, and I still haven't really got super, like, I don't really feel like I need to do Steel Path, so I haven't really done any of it. I just don't like the feel, like, I like using whatever Warframe I feel like using, and a lot of the time Steel Path feels like there's certain Warframes that are just bad at it. Anyways, I've got quite a few different Warframes. I guess I'll go through and show you some of them, because time. I do feel kind of bad. I put a bunch of points into Varuna just to now have the Varuna Prime come out. Same thing with Nesha. Nesha is one of the first Warframes I ever got, and is an insanely good early game Warframe with crazy survivability, really good speed buffs, and if you build them right, you can do a bunch of damage. Right now I've been using Nesha because I'm tired of using Titania, basically. Titania is a really good farming frame with a lot of really good speed, with the ability to turn really small but fly really quickly. It's my Avara and Avara Prime that are just waiting for a rework so that she can actually be more or less viable again. One of my favorites, I love Stealth. I recently got Ash Prime and he is so good. So just like getting through the base star chart and farming things where I need to go quick. I've been using Atlas recently because he's just got such insane damage. I really want Ember to work. I cannot get this Warframe to work without being incredibly spammy with skills, and being incredibly spammy with skills, I just don't have enough energy most of the time to, because like what I want Ember to do is just burst everything around her for huge damage, but instead what I get is I burst everyone around her for mediocre or like okay damage, which is like okay I guess, but it requires a lot of Warframes. I kind of decide how good they are based on the actions per minute that are required in order to play them decently. Like Nezha is a really low actions per minute character where I can just hit my skill one. Well, I guess I should also say, so I kind of screw up my buttons when I'm playing this game. So I have my skills on 2, 3, 4, and 5 because I have my movement on ESDF instead of WASD, so that I can have WQA as extra buttons that I can use for utility and pressing things. Anyways, I don't want to take too long standing around here not doing anything, so I'm going to quickly explain what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing some Dragon Key corrupted mod farming. So now the idea of doing corrupted farming is you go to any of the maps that are around the edge that aren't from Sanctum and Atomica map, and it gives you a tile set that has corrupted doors. Now if you go to these maps and you go through those corrupted doors, you can get corrupted mods. Now, in order to get through those doors, you need to have the keys equipped, and when you have those keys equipped, they give you huge debuffs, but Nezha has a skill that makes him basically invincible to any damage while it's active. So I just pop that, and I pop the speed boost at the top of the map, because other thing that one of the corruption mods does, it makes you walk and run really slowly, but Nezha's slide makes him basically frictionless and a lot quicker at sliding. And I really like his playstyle of just being able to just like constantly be jumping and moving and going really quickly through the map. So I'm going to put this on solo for one, and we're going to go through and do a solo corrupted run just to show you what it's like, and then we might do some public ones to get some more quick mods. Now, the whole reason you would do this, so I pop my 1 and my 3 there, so that I can get my now I'm not going to be going crazy fast because I want to. So here, I'll show you one thing that I was talking about. So this is my running speed right now because I have the corruption mod on, but when I slide, it keeps my momentum for a little bit up, you can see the damage absorption that my skill 3 has is in the bottom corner. But I'm not taking any damage from anything, which is really nice. Now, I have a landing craft that gives me a special skill. Now I'm gonna hope that this special skill is gonna go off and tell me where the corrupted door is. Unfortunately it didn't, so what that tells me is that the door isn't nearby, which means that if I'm pretty close to the start of the map, so I'm gonna, now this is gonna be a lot of assuming, because I want to try and, oh here we go, that's really lucky. Okay, so this is the door we're looking for when we go through, so normally it could be anywhere on the map, so if I bring the map up, any of these little side hallways that has a door set up like this, and I'm sure there's some exceptions, can have this door attached. So when you find it, you open it up, walk up, grab your unidentified item, and I don't know if there's actually any like better drops out of any of these side ones, but yeah, now that we have that, then we can do my favorite thing, which is just rush the ending.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Colonel.
We got Magnum Force, which is a decent pistol mod. I've done quite a few of these already today, and I got a lot of pistol mods. Now I have all of the corrupted mods already, I think. I don't think there are any that I'm missing. But the nice thing about corrupted mods is that most builds will use at least 1 or 2 corrupted mods. And while there are some that are pretty cheap, there are also some that you can sell for like 15 plat each. So having the ability to sell some corrupted mods is actually really nice. It gets you quite a bit of platinum if you're willing to go into do the trading for it. Now, usually what I'll do is just wait until there is like a 50% off or 75% off platinum deal that I get, where you can get huge discounts if you're lucky on your platinum, but unfortunately I'm running low and I haven't had any of those in a while, so I decided to do some platinum farming the old-fashioned way. Okay, let's rush this guy down since he's pretty close by. Oopsie. I like doing this on capture missions. I saw a video today where it suggested doing this on pop this and see if the door's open. But yeah, I saw a video where somebody said to do this on exterminate, but I like doing it on capture because at worst, capture can turn into a quick exterminate. But for the most part, you're not gonna have. Okay, here's another thing that can pop up, and we'll just do this. You can find. Oops. Okay, this exit. Very quietly mumbling, I realize. We're going to speed up a bit. Let's check this way, see if we have our door. And if we have a minute to wait, then we can check over here for our door as well. I find a lot of times if you have offshoot areas like this, this is where the door is going to be. Unfortunately, with these big offshoot areas, it can also be a big wild goose chase. Oh, organs. Yeah, that's why the organs is also a rare material that is used for so many things. That's a nice thing about doing these farms too. You get a few of those rare materials. Now, I don't really use any of the. I used to use Cora a lot to get extra drops and stuff, but I find her playstyle is kind of not what I like, and I don't really have any of the other farming frames built, which I realize a lot of people say that you like need to get like Nidus and Necros and Hydroid, but I don't know, I guess maybe don't let this be proof that you don't need them, because like I think if you see people with my amount of hours, they probably have a lot more stuff if they have those frames, but for the most part you don't need them now. Oh, the second one please. No. Oh, no. Okay, let's see if we can get to the end here. Come on. That was a close one. Now, again, there's probably not going to be anything rare in here. You never know. Sometimes these rooms will have rare drops. Whoops, I should probably re-up my skill that gives me health. Well, it doesn't give me health. I should say, when you play Warframe, the different skills and abilities are very weird in that you have to pay very close attention when you're modding your stuff. Usually for modding, I will just look up guides because it gets really complicated otherwise. Okay, let's see. I kill those guys sometimes because there is a mod that I'm looking for that I'm not 100% sure that they drop it, but I'm pretty sure they do. Okay, let's please. Oh my goodness, it's not near me. Okay, let's go this way then. This is the flip side of that last map where sometimes you will find a door immediately. Oh, yeah. Did I get that one? Okay. Another thing you can probably do while you're farming these, if you see those cavats, you grab them. And by grab them, I really screws you up on is trying to get stuff like that. Let's see. Okay, I got. Do a couple more of these ones. I'm gonna slow down on how many I can get for the rest of these. I'm gonna try to keep them around 15, but I did a bunch of them this morning and I wasn't really building them while I was doing them. So now I'm gonna switch this over to public. And this could be pretty nice when you do them in public, because then if the other people find the vault and open it, then you don't have to use one of your keys. And usually, I'll be honest, usually the other people you're playing with are as fast as you, if not faster. Now, since the door can be anywhere, you always want to do any backtracking at the beginning that you can. I usually will try to get to the first. Kill this guy first. Weird. Okay, once this is done, we'll drop our support drone. Okay. So it doesn't look like we have. Oh wait. We might not have keys. I'm more than happy to open the doors for people. Because I have, being a higher level, I have a very large amount of void. Now let's get the extract. There's some really busted new Warframes. Oops. There we go.
Great work. I am pleased with your performance.
Strength and Fortitude, that's going to be one of the more expensive ones. If you're looking for any mod that gives you the plus to one of your Warframe abilities and a minus to another one of your Warframe abilities, it's going to be worth a bit more. And the ones that do strength, I think, are usually the most expensive. Now that's just from, like, I haven't done farming for these mods in a long time, but I remember it being that way in the past. There we go, now we're into them. And when you open the map, I usually look to see if anyone else has the parallax ship. That's me moving on the right side with my ship. If you have parallax from doing endgame maps, well not endgame, but like mid-game maps, then that means that you're gonna have the air support. And if you have the air support, then that means that you can help everybody find everything. So we're gonna go over here, help these guys with getting that, and that's okay. He gets this. He gets the drop the same as I do. It's basically whoever finds it first gets the drop. Either that or he was looking for organ cells, maybe. I just realized I've got over 1 million Zeneric. That's kind of cool. Let's go back to Warhand. See if we can get another one. We're at 32 minutes. Alright.
Here to find our target and bring them to the extraction point. Happy hunting.
Oops. Another player joining.
Found the target. Capture them quickly before they escape.
There we go. I'll usually just
Capture target has vital
pop that
information that we will
under
need to
there.
extract. We need our subject brought back alive. Mission complete. The captive has been escorted to the extraction point.
Get.
Well done.
Prepare for incoming support.
Ooh. 280 from here. Let's go see. Yeah, this person is also going for it, but this one doesn't look super promise. Oh, never mind, it is the door. Open it. See, a lot of people will bring all of the keys because they're hoping that other people will bring them, which I'm more than happy to open the doors for people, as long as nobody complains that I take too long or anything.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Something's wrong.
Oh, come on. Nope, nope. Here we go. Now we're on the right path. Yeah, sometimes getting to where you need to go can be tricky. There we go.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Corrupted charge. Not a crazy one, but not terrible. I was gonna say, I also like to have a couple. So usually I'll just use my melee weapon for doing these, but it's nice to have a good primary. Oh, pop out of his. But yeah, usually I like to have a good primary. Now, I have been struggling hard to find decent weapons that I like using. The Ekog Guva Chakur, but it's basically just the Guva Chakur. I got this from doing a lich that I had. So I had a lich on this account for probably like 5 years or something. Basically, when they released liches, I went and started a lich, and then it leveled up all the way, and I didn't really have good gear, so I couldn't kill it. And then I basically just took a bunch of time off from playing Warframe, and every time I played, the lich would just take and take and take little bits of everything that I got whenever I went to Mars to do missions. And so finally, I and figured out how to do liches so that I could go and get my stuff back and finish that. One of my favorite Warframes is Lavos, and so I had been struggling to find the Ceto Prime blueprint for a long time. I finally found it recently. It is a very good gun. I remember Arcoplasmor was one of my favorites back in the day. Obviously, the Bassa. I don't even have the Bassa Prime, I don't think, but the Bassa was one of my favorites of all time. Other than that, I used a lot of the bows. I want to get the Tenet Ferox, because that one looks really cool. But yeah, other than that, I don't have many. Like, I want to get... where is it? I want to get the Incarnate for the Latron. I'm pretty sure it has an Incarnate. And then if I come in here and show you my secondaries, I have... this is like one of the only guns I have a ribbon for. If I show you here, it's not an amazing ribbon, but it's pretty cool. 164.8% critical chance. And 125.8% multi-shot. And 84.6% cold. So like, that's not bad. A lot of multi-shot, a lot of crit chance, and some cold damage. So and it doesn't really have like a downside. I realize that having downsides on ribbons usually makes them better, but like for a ribbon with no downside, this one is pretty good. I think that's basically like the only ribbon I have though. Where was I? But yeah, as far as melee weapons, the Nefiri and the Koda Haruda basically do everything I need them to do. I want to get a version of Grand Prime or find a heavy weapon that does a crud load of damage, because I really like the, like, do a single swipe and do like a million damage type weapons. But the Nefiri blades are so cool, and I really like the animation on them. Haruda have some animations on them that I don't really like a huge amount, but they are also like just a really good weapon. I'm pretty sure their bonuses that they just give you a buttload of health regen when you kill with them, which is, you know, really good. I can go back onto something that I am. Here we go. Finish leveling up my Cisco, and I'm trying to slowly work my way towards 30. Maybe someday I will hit 30, and I will be giving people boosts at different maps. But until then, we do this. Man, I've always kind of, I was gonna say, if you have 75% off or 50% off platinum button like offers to just get like a decent amount through those if you're getting really into the game. Now, obviously, I probably spent way too much money on Warframe, what with getting skins and getting really into fashion framing and stuff. So I have probably spent way more than I should and need to on the game. So it's definitely more of a do what I say, not what I do situation. But DE is like one of the most cool developers for games, so I'm more than happy to support them by giving them a little bit of money. This guy is freaking looking. There we go. Alright, what's this drops? No trigger support. I have a bad feeling about that one. Yeah. I would say I was pretty close to some dead ends there. Probably should have moved to a better centralized location for that. Let's go check this one. But yeah, this game is one of my favorite games, and I think a large part of that is just how smooth and fluid and precise the gameplay feels. It is just immaculate controls and just such a fun game to just fly around in. Like, I remember I did farming for Avara. Let's go to market cells. Avara was released, and I did farming for. Oh, this is gonna be one of those maps. Okay, we're going back. But yeah, when Avara released, I was farming her. I had a lot of problems finding her. Did this guy find it? I don't think he found it. Okay. But yeah, I had a lot of problems finding Avara when she came out doing spy missions. Well, I shouldn't say when she came out, when I started playing, because I wanted Avara. And so I did tons of spy missions, but by the time I finished doing them, I got so freaking good at doing those spy missions that you just feel like some sort of ninja, which is crazy that, like, you look at this game advertised as Space Ninjas, and it actually makes you feel like a Space Ninja. Like, you're jumping all over, you get your speed up, you're doing crazy stuff to try and, like, see this guy is. I can't tell if he knows what's going on or not. I think he's just coming to see where I am, to see if maybe I found. Nope. I'm really bad for Good job, buddy. Thanks for helping out. Yeah, there's a lot of things in Warframe. Like, I realize a lot of the time that people basically just do their own thing in these games. So, like, there will be times where you're trying to do one objective, and your team is just finishing the level and not actually paying attention to what you're doing. But there's times like this where the guy comes and tries to help me find it.
I am pleased with your performance.
Getting another depleted reload. Oof. Not a great one, but we got 2 more market cells. So, we should be, I don't know if that means we're in or if we're at 8 right now, but having more of those is never a bad thing. And we're getting closer. No, I'm really not going for any. Yeah, he's only 5. But yeah, I'm not really going for this, but just passively getting some of these and those is really nice. So yeah, to end off, I will show you, this is Fitz. He is a character I took all on time to train and get ready. And I'm about to show you my greatest dream. So, this is Fitz. He is a what's it called? Panzer Volpefila. And the big thing with them is they basically don't die. So, which one? Viral quills. And it devolves into a larval form when it's downed and attacks enemies with quills, dealing 60 viral damage. And then it comes back to life after 30 seconds. So no matter what, you have some amount of help from your companion. And then the big crazy thing on here is how long it took me to get this. I got Bite. Now, to anyone who doesn't know, Bite for the companions takes a really long time to get, because you need, sorry, my cat has eye boogers. I'm trying to, there we go, get him up, okay, sorry, Bite takes us so long to farm. You basically have to go to one of the early sabotage missions and find all 3 of the secret caches, and then it is like a 2% chance from each of those caches to get Bite. Or it's a 2%, no, I think it's 2% chance from finishing the level after getting all the caches to get Bite. It is a crazy percentage chance to get this. And if you notice, I have a second one. Now the reason I have a second one is because I went through the entire grind to get Bite on Earth with Titania, flying around, finding and getting very good at finding those caches, just to then get to the end of that grind and realize that the whole time I was doing that grind, I should have also been doing the grind for the growing power mod, which I now still don't have. And so now I load into those maps to do the growing power grind, and I think to myself, well, I might as well, since I'm now pretty good at doing those caches, do those caches to get the chance at getting can I just look up corrupted? Minus this is why I have to go. So, in order to get more of these so that I can keep farming for growing power, I need to do serious missions, Earth missions during the day. Oh, I think these are just Earth. Oh yeah, these can only be found during the day on Earth, and these can only be found on night on Earth. So I have to gather a bunch of both of those, which these ones are such a pain. So when I'm doing that, I have to swap my pet over to, where's it? I think it's the Oculus that has. Yeah, it's got botanist. So it automatically picks plants for me. So having that is nice, but yeah, I think any Warframe player will tell you that no matter what, unless you make this your full-time job, you're always gonna be behind on something. I only have one of I've only got 3 different wings, and I've only got 2 of these maxed out. I just got a couple more. It's like, I really like these design, but look at how few mods I have for these. I just recently got the multi-shot mod for this because I found it at Barrow-Kadir this week. But yeah, that's why I've started farming mods again, because I figure if I can get, here, let's go to our mod station here and look at duplicates. Oh, I don't know when I got this. Ability duration on Archwing. I have no idea what any of the Archwing abilities are. Can I... Art Beast, Railjack, Antique. Art Antique. I have no idea what this is. What? Monster Transference, Static Truce. What game mode is that even for? Okay. Incomplete. What are incomplete? Oh, just the ones that aren't maxed. Duplicates. I get augments, auras. It's such a deep game with so many different things. These are all just mods that you can put onto your Warframe. If I go into all of my mods, I like some of the mods that you get lots of. I've got 239 revenge mods, and this is I go through and sell some of these sometimes. You learn so many different systems, oh, how many I-10 sculptures do you fill up, and then how many of these do you get slowly over time. It's crazy. Let's filter game mode, oh wait, universal. Rare. Don't measure max. I want the Warframe mods. Okay. So let's see if we can find. So I've got 3 extra overextendeds right now. I've got an extra blind rage. A couple extra transient fortitude. does have a good night, day. I'll tell you right now. Make sure when you finish doing your corrupted farming, you take off your keys there, because otherwise you get disadvantages for no reason. There we go. Alright. If there's any farms in Warframe you want to see, or any other things you want to take a look at in the game, maybe we could do some fishing sometime. You know, you was just scrolling through to take a look at some of my different Warframes that I have. This is a Dagoth. Do a bunch of melee damage, but their survivability skill, while it's like really, really good, they can take a bunch of damage. This is Ember Prime. Does a lot of AoE damage, but I find that she has a lot of issues with sustainability with your energy, especially if you just hit one person. Cause you to lose energy, you're kinda screwed. Sneja, we were watching him for the last, half hour. Atlas, kind of a one-trick pony. He hits really, really hard, and he has a mechanic where you gather some rocks from enemies that you petrify and kill, and then you get like crazy damage, because you can make it so that your punching skill has no cost and double the range, so it just does a bunch of damage. Veruna is I play her as a stealth frame that just does a lot of condition transferring to enemies. Lavos is a condition dealer who is highly survivable with really good health tanking. I play him a lot because he has really good mobility, and his special mechanic, well, he's got two special mechanics. One is that he doesn't use energy. His skills are on cooldowns, and then he also has abilities that make it so that those cooldowns go down. And then his second special is that he has a thing where if you hold down any of his 4 skills, it will imbue you with a certain damage type. So if you use your 1, I think his 1 gives poison, his 2 gives cold, 3 gives electric, and 4 gives fire. And so then whatever skill you use next after you imbue it does that damage on top of whatever damage it normally does. So he does a lot of condition damage. You can also hold down 2 buttons to do the combination between 2 skills. So you can get the different ones. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. It's magnetic, blast, corrosive, gas, and no, fever. I can't remember. Gyre does a lot of just electric damage, just buttloads of electric damage. Survivability wise, not like hugely survivable, but does have a decent amount of survivability. Mirage, you're either insanely survivable or you are an insane damage dealer. I love Mirage. I used to use them a lot. I don't use them really that much anymore, but if you don't know anything about this Warframe, that probably all just sounds like weird nonsense, but if you have played that character, you probably know what I'm talking about, I hope. I did really like using her to just like clear maps. It's really fun using her to just clear like entire areas. Ash is one of my favorites right now. He has like on my build with him, he has like a decent amount, like 30 seconds of invisibility. And with that 30 seconds of invisibility, I then just kind of use that, do a bunch of damage, don't get hit by anything, and then just like you build his clones to do finisher damage, and because all of their clones that his 4 skill uses do finisher damage, and he just like clears an entire map with one use of that because he does like hundreds of thousands of damage. Nova is really, really, really good at a lot of different things, like one of the most versatile Warframes in the entire game. You use Nova's 4 to either speed up or slow down enemies, and I know you're thinking, why would you ever want to speed up enemies? If you're doing defense missions, having the enemies come to you faster so that they can die quicker means that the mission finishes faster. So that's like a big strategy, is actually just speeding up enemies so that they just walk over and die faster. But also having insanely high oh my goodness, I must be hungry. My stomach's making all sorts of noises. But yeah, you know what? I just had a thought. What if I do a separate video going through and telling you my thoughts on all the Warframes? Now, I'm not going to tell you my thoughts on every single Warframe because, as you can see, I don't nearly have all of them. But I can go through and tell you my thoughts on quite a few of them. I love that, like, some of my favorite Warframes, I don't even have their base frame. I just have, like Protea, Revenant. Like, there's so many. Now, I will say, I did have Volt. Pretty sure I subsumed or got rid of him at some point. Like, Uriel just seems insane. I just haven't gotten him yet. Sevagoth, well, actually Sevagoth doesn't seem that crazy. I know a lot of people really like Protea, I just haven't tried her out at all yet. I have one built. I just finished building, so usually what I do if I want to try out a Warframe, like, I did this with Hildren where I went, okay, I want to try Hildren. I got Hildren, leveled her up, gave her like a little makeover so that I kind of liked the kit that I had for her, which, by the way, this character's body type is fucking crazy. Look at this. Look at this beast. Okay. Anyways. I got it. Whenever I like a character, I get them, I level them up, and then I give them some drip, and then I try to see how much I like using them, and if I like using them, they get added to the favorites. Now, some characters have been in my favorites and have been removed. Some characters that will probably never be removed are Neshet and Volt, because they are like the OGs, but like,
what manner of world is this?
Wisp is a character that, like, I loved Wisp, but I just haven't really used her in a while. Siren
Let's
is
make
another
a
one
kind of
where I liked.
statement that people don't walk away from.
I like using Siren, but there's just not much that she does that other Warframes can't do, and I just find that, like, there's a lot of Warframes that don't have much interactivity, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it just feels like you press a button and everything dies, and you never really felt like you did it. It just kind of feels like if I had one complaint about Ash, it's that, like, press your one, you fly at them, punch them, and everything around them explodes. Like, this has, like, I love his skill one. I just wish that he wasn't such a one-trick pony. Because, like, he has two different skills that you probably want to subsume over. Because they're just bad. But you can't subsume over two of them. So, like, I don't know. I don't usually use subsumes that much. I think the only character that I've really have tried subsuming with is Ember and Dagoth. Because I wanted to have Roar on Ember to try and, like, because their fireball is so bad, and I wanted to try and make her do more damage, but, like, without just, like, completely going in and doing a whole bunch of strength crystals, which I haven't really. I don't even have the stuff unlocked for the Archon shards, but, like, you can see why I like this character, right? Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna cut it off here. There's some characters that I have unlocked that I haven't even really played that much, like Ariarali. It just doesn't seem like my kind of character. Protea, love this look. Set up this strip for this character. Looks great. Can't wait to try and build her and try and figure out how she works. But the skin looks like Bumblebee and awesome. Rhino finally got a version of him that I really like. Phyrexia. I honestly, for some reason, I thought she was better than she felt when I was using her for leveling up. Noko, same thing. I know he's good for defense, and then, like, I guess maybe my biggest problem that I end up having with some characters is just, like, for Nyx. Also, freaking love this look for this character. I saw somebody, I won't say that I originally thought of this. I saw somebody in a map using this, and it looked like porcelain, like glass, and I thought that looks awesome. So I built a Nyx, like I took my Nyx and rebuilt it to look like that. I didn't do white everywhere. I gave it the sparkly ephemera, but yeah, really like that. But yeah, like Necros. I have a Necros. Somebody told me, oh, you need to get Necros. He's so good. And I have him now, and all I get is like meh. Like maybe if I had Necros Prime, I would feel more inclined to like actually. Oh, by the way, I'm so excited for the heirloom skin for Mesa. I never really got into Mesa. I know that they are like an insane frame, and I've seen the heirloom. It looks incredible, and so I'm really excited to get a Mesa to add to my, my heirloom collection. Valkyrie is an absolute beast. If I'm doing late game stuff, Valkyrie is one of the options I will usually go with, because she just blasts through enemies. The only issue that Valkyrie has is if there is a lull in the fighting, then a lot of times she will kind of lose her invincibility during that lull. But yeah, that. Or if you don't have a very good melee weapon on her, and you get with an energy drain, then you can run out, like you can have some problems killing things. But I have a couple of decent melee weapons, like the Coda fists